Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival. I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories through the years. Today's episodes are What a Croc and Ferb TV. So, Dragon, what do you make of the giant reptile?
Well, he was cute when he was younger.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Now, what did you think of him when he was bigger?
He seems very frightened of Candace.
Yep. He's a big softy.
As we all are.
He's a big softy.
Yep.
Yep. All right, now what about the actual episode itself? I mean, I really enjoyed both of these episodes.
Let me tell you about this episode, Jacob. It's a big croc. No, I'm kidding. This features a big croc. No, it's
Yeah. It has a big croc.
It's a fun episode. It's harmless enough. I think I liked it better of the two this week. I had some fun absurdist elements going for it. It was a fine episode. Nothing really like gobsmacking, but it was it's fun.
Yep.
Not a lot going for it, but it's like, hey, no harm, no foul.
Does that mean tonight's episodes are better than last week's episodes? Well, if you're asking me, my personal opinion, almost every other episode is a better episode than last week's.
Yeah.
So, but that's just me. Some of you guys may like it, and again, as I mentioned last week, they weren't as bad as I made them out to be, as I originally, distorted them in my brain, but I still would probably skip over them in another rewatch.
We don't stop the episode to basically come up with like a rip off of Pig Latin, so
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, let's get into What a Croc.
Yeah.
And Swampy were at D23 today. Yep. Claude, I wonder, they're probably showing something for the new season for all we know.
Well, I bet they paid extra. Okay, so
the episode begins with Linda going to the zoo, and Candace wants to be in charge.
But Lawrence is there, and he's in quotes in charge.
Yep, but they're busy watching a TV series, watching a show.
It's the new hit of the fall season. Well, I guess of the summer season. Last I heard, Jacob. I mean, it's something that inspired Christopher Nolan while he was doing Interstellar. I don't know if you knew this.
Horse in a bookcase.
Yes, horse in a bookcase.
It's a horse in a bookcase.
Yeah, so you initially see McConaughey, when they were doing Interstellar, he wanted wait a minute. Can't I just voice an animated horse in the third act of Interstellar? Do I have to do I have to just be in like a spacesuit and do it? Like can't I just be wouldn't it be better if it was like a horse, kind of plays in the Western vibe I got going for me? It's like, Nolan just puts down his tea and just walks up to him and slaps him like, no! It's a Nolan movie.
He refers to his own movies in the third person.
Well, he had to snap him out of that this delusional horse fantasy of McConaughey's, which apparently the network really liked, and just kind of decided to run with it.
But him and apparently Dragon is not according to a future episode. It is not a new show. It's been on for 19 years.
Yeah.
Apparently, they got 19 years out of a horse in a bookcase.
Well, there's a lot of regime changes with the showrunners, and I'm sure there's a lot to sort out there. I mean, if you really look at that show, Jacob, I know you've watched intensely, so I don't have to tell you, but just for the audience out there, I mean, the books on the shelf change a lot. I mean, there's the fancy books, there's the leather that.
Not
Jacob,
to,
how
not,
amazing was season 5 with the leather-bound books
not to
on the
mention,
shelf?
not to mention that some of the titles are straight up foreshadowing of future events.
Yep, and then oh god, there was that one season. I think it was like season 8 or 10, where you had like they decided to make the horse talk, using peanut butter, just like Mr. Ed. Basically it was kind of a subtle relaunch within the series. I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, a lot of people don't like those seasons, but I mean, I think they got a little merit to them.
You're thinking of season 9.
You're right. It's 9. What was I thinking? 9. I mean, of course, we'll never forget that Jump the Shark season where there was the competitor across the room, where it was a shark in a fishbowl on a shelf, which basically the shark, it was a giant shark, it was just crammed into a tiny bowl. It was a very that was kind of their cousin Oliver, that was kind of a mix of cousin Oliver and Jumping the Shark. Kind of one. It was very in-universe pun, and just you saw the jealousy in that horse. I mean, if you heard the behind the scenes too of apparently the horse, he got very disenfranchised. He kind of had this whole acting career kind of.
And then they had to replace him with another horse.
Yeah, and then the original horse, he essentially developed a drinking problem, and after he landed a sitcom, and then he basically moved to L.A. and it was like all these other animals that were basically kind of like very anthropomorphic and had other acting careers, and ran for about, I don't know, I forget, it was probably 5 seasons, and it was something Horseman, I don't know, it was anyway.
And that was BoJack's his brother.
Right. No, you're right. BoJack was his brother, but BoJack pretty much stole the premise from his basically BoJack Horseman actually is a biopic of a show. Basically, BoJack's adapting his brother's struggle post the Horse and Shelf show, which is a beloved
bookcase.
Horse
Sorry,
you're right. Horse in a bookcase. I was thinking of the spinoff. I was thinking of the thing that, not the spinoff, the reboot that's in talks right now. That I believe two wacky showrunners. It's what was it? It's Don and what is it?
Don and Jim.
Yeah, Don and Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Don and Jim kind of sweaty. I think it's like sweaty something. Anyway.
Yeah.
Or was it like muggy?
Boggy.
Yeah. There, I think Boggy sounds right there. There you go. Maybe it was like Bob Boggy, something. Anyway, what show are we talking about again?
Horse in a bookcase.
Right. Okay, so back to the horse in the bookcase. No.
That's like, but them watching that is what leads Linda to leave Candace in charge.
Right. Anyway, yeah. So,
sorry about that, folks.
So back to our show. So Animated Jacob wants in on the episode.
Yeah, like Candace isn't letting him in due to some misunderstandings.
Which admittedly they kind of have our number and our dynamic on this one.
It's like, can I see Phineas and Ferb? Probably not from here.
Yeah, it's me with my literalness, and you just with the I want to be on the episode, guys. Deal me in. You get me in there. I'm gonna get in the door.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So anyway, what brings the boys what brings Irving in is it's the Uppifids.
Yes, the Uppifids.
The ultimate Phineas and Ferb scrapbook.
Yep.
Basically. I know I'm missing. I think I'm missing a few letters, but
yeah.
But that's basically a complete digital scrapbook of everything they've ever done.
So it's pay dirt, and Candace wants a lot of that.
Yep.
One problem: it doesn't leave your animated person, Jacob.
No, he wants her on him at all time.
Yep.
And yes, he refers to the Uppifids as a girl.
Just holding it up like, I'm a girl.
Jack, God bless you, Jack McBrayer.
Of course, Jacob, the moment he said that, tell me you weren't thinking of Philip. What's the bad news? It's a girl, Nickel.
Oh God, yep. God.
I just
Okay,
love the callback that inside when we go inside the little castle house, he sleeps with Philip the Nickel.
It's a security blanket.
Yep.
It is a nice, in a show that doesn't have much continuity. It is kind of interesting to have that little bit of continuity.
Yep.
So anyway,
Yeah.
breaking news is breaking news. Crikey the crocodile has gone missing.
Yeah.
The little Crikey the crocodile.
Yeah. I love we have some fun fourth wally kind of references here. We have Hobo Dan. You basically talking about like I was just I just looked away. He's just
I kind of looked away for a second. There he was gone.
Yep. He's probably they're wasting. The boys point out he's wasting. They're wasting time in that looking for him in that swampy marsh.
Yep.
Okay, Jacob. I think we need to address the showrunners in the room.
All right.
Dan, Swampy, I know you're living it up right now with D23, telling all the nice people about what's happening in the actual, in the revival. But I gotta just kind of acknowledge it, guys. Like, really, Swampy Marsh, Hobo Dan, were you gonna let anyone else have any parts or any lines in the episode? Did you have to insert yourselves like that? I mean, come on. Guys.
The funny thing is, Hobo Dan's voice sounds quite a bit like the character he voices in Milo Murphy's Law.
I mean, a little originality, Dan. I mean, you act like you create like two very beloved, animated shows that deserve revisiting and reviving and such, and like you're getting a kick out of doing it again or something. I mean, come on, Dan. You couldn't have done a different voice. You gotta like, come on, guys. Just a little desperate. So again, Hobo Dan and looking for him in a swampy marsh. I mean, come on. We know exactly who you're talking about. We know exactly who you're talking about. You're talking about Zach Moncrief with that line.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Zach gets enough love.
Funnily enough, he didn't direct this episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They went out of their way to throw some love to Zach Moncrief with that swampy marsh line.
Actually, I don't think he directs any more episodes after this. I think he.
That's even worse. You know why? They felt sorry for him, Jacob.
Yep.
Yeah. Cameron Cochran agrees. Me too.
Yeah.
Everyone feels sorry for Zach Moncrief.
I don't know if he's talking about Zach.
No, he's not. I'm just saying, what if he was?
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
So anyway, speaking of Swampy, he doesn't even get to voice his usual character in this episode. Well, except for like a brief little snippet.
Yeah.
Instead, he's breached by Ray Liotta of all people.
Yes, the wonderful Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Best known for work such as Goodfellas.
He's done quite a bit, but yeah, that probably
he has. I mean, no one's ever going to talk about it. He had a pretty good role in The Iceman.
Huh, all right.
I love The Iceman. Iceman's a great movie. It's practically an indie movie. It's kind of like an indie biopic. It's wonderful.
Huh. I'll look into it.
Yeah. I mean, indie's not the right term for that, but I'm just saying it's a very low budget. It's very much by the bootstraps, kind of like, I think, a Lionsgate kind of production,
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys hear that Doofus coming to Oogie Boogie's Halloween bash this year? I actually did see the rumors about it.
Well, it's not like he's doing anything else until the revival airs.
I mean, who knows? By that point, the revival might be out.
Yeah, you're right. So yes, Cameron Cochran says. Aquatad says Ray Liotta also had a brief stint in B Movie.
Yep.
He did very memorably. I like what I do. Is that a crime?
All right.
Yep. Seriously, though, Ray Liotta, he's for posterity's sake, he's no longer with us, but he was a great talent. Of course, many memorable roles, but again, Henry Hill just easily, one of the best things he ever did. But even to the end, even something like Cocaine Bear, he brought it.
Yep. Yeah, some other people might know him as Tommy Vercetti from Grand Theft Auto.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Also was in the Sopranos movie they did. Was in Saints of Newark, playing two characters. He played a set of twins.
I mean, the Many Saints of Newark?
Yeah, the Many Saints of Newark, yeah.
Huh, well, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. He plays specifically, I forget what the one was. No, not. He was friends with Dickie Moltisanti. I'm trying to remember what his name was because there's two of them. But point being, he plays plays a good role in that.
All right. Oh, he's also in Field of Dreams too.
He gets around that Ray Liotta, especially now. I mean, look what he's doing here. I mean, he's playing the role of Major Monogram.
Well, he's actually playing himself, but.
No, you're right, but he's filling in for Major Monogram.
Yeah, apparently he was at the Academy.
That was him a favor from the Academy. It's like, oh man, I owe you. We have like the whole owing a favor thing.
It's like, I owe you a favor. It's like, you owe me a favor there, Ray. It's like, why did I ever? He's like. Look at me here being a successful actor. Why can't I just do this like you guys do? It's like, you do make more money than us, sir. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Just the fact we have like this epic, it owes me a favor, and we just have this very mundane, like, you owe me a favor. It spells it out pretty directly.
Yeah, don't even know what the favor means or what it was or why Ray Liotta of all people was even there, but who cares? It's funny, right?
Maybe he was doing research for a role.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, what roles would he be in that would suit a spy academy? Or, well, it doesn't say it was a spy academy. I guess just the academy.
Well, man, I know he's playing the FBI. He's kind of the head of the FBI in Hannibal, so perhaps
Well, that was but Hannibal only came out in the 2000s, though. So, and Monogram sounded pretty young in that one.
Well, yeah, but maybe Monogram's a lot younger than we give him credit for. You ever think about that?
He has he's married. He's married, and let's just say I believe in the next upcoming episode, some of the upcoming episodes, will actually give us a clue to his age. So,
also, we should mention this too, as well. We're on a Liotta Love Fest. Okay, great role for him. He was in Muppets from Space. You remember that?
Actually, no.
Oh yeah, it was delightful. He played the friendly guard that let him in.
Like Gonzo in?
Well, no, not Gonzo. They're trying to break Gonzo out, Jacob. No, all the other Muppets, they go in there and they spray him with like the compliance spray or something. He's just like, "Oh yeah, hey guys, come on in."
All the Muppets.
Yeah.
All right, I don't remember.
A ragtag group of Muppets that essentially was all the Muppets. You know what I mean?
All the Muppets in that movie, anyway. All the main Muppets, I guess.
I mean, it was, yeah, sure.
Besides Gonzo.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in years, and I've only seen it once.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so apparently Doofenshmirtz is looking up stuff about chickens. Now, as you may have noticed, Doof's plan involves replacing an object with the nearest chicken.
And what's the one immutable law of reality, Jacob, in regards to chickens?
Chicken laugh. Chicken laugh.
Chickens are always funny.
Yep. I pointed this
Why
out
do you think the Muppet Show is so successful? Chickens, funny. Boom.
not because of like the clever puppetry or witty characters and dialogue and
No, wake up, Jacob.
and
Smell the
musical
coffee.
and musical and interesting musical numbers. No, it's because of the chickens.
Wake up and smell the KFC, my friend. The chicken is funny, always.
Well, that explains why Gonzo loves Camilla.
Yep. Yeah, that does kind of occur to me. What would happen if Gonzo did walk into like a KFC or someplace?
I imagine like that's probably something that Gonzo doesn't eat. He probably abstains from eating chicken.
Yeah.
It's like nobody. I wonder if anybody's ever asked him. It's like, do you? I wonder if anyone asked him if he like refrains from eating chicken.
Oh, we know what he eats instead. He eats turkey.
Yeah.
He's got no qualms about eating turkey.
Nope. Did he eat turkey in Christmas Carol?
No.
I don't think so. I know he had apples, but I don't.
I mean, look, the goose was served at the end. I think he was there, but he didn't really eat it. So
Yeah, but the reason I brought up the chicken in there because you probably remember that one from when it was. It actually came back a couple of times, but the one you would probably remember is in Candace Against the Universe.
Oh yeah.
It's like remember he made a portable version of the nearest chicken.
God.
Yep. It's. Yep.
So it's the fact that it's like not turning things in the chicken, but it's swapping things with the chicken.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's easier to swap things than transmutate them.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not living in the first place.
It's an inator on a budget.
Yeah, but I mean, it works, right? I mean, it's a simple goal. It's like apparently Roger has been nominated like Mayor of the Year for two times in a row, and he's only been mayor for 1 year.
See, secretly, the reason Monogram's not in this episode is he's cheating on his wife with Charlene this episode.
Oh God, Dragon. Claude's a fan of the Axinator.
God.
Like accidents could happen. It's like it's just hilarious that they advocate that Doofenshmirtz straight up planned on killing a chicken.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Peter's gonna have a field day with that one.
What is that? Yep. Well, he didn't actually kill the chicken, but he just had the idea. It's like,
Well, plus we had that gag once for Alka. They ate Agent C, didn't they?
Agent T.
T, right. Well, yeah, right.
The turkey.
Right.
Like, we lost Agent T last November.
Still such a great joke.
Yeah, it's great. So anyway, back to the boys.
Yeah.
They're looking in the sewer for the crocolocator. Apparently, they can also find treasure down there, but they decided to do that another time.
Yeah, very Goonies.
No, not necessarily a pirate ship, but just treasure.
Yeah.
Although I would honestly like to see. We've actually seen them become pirates previously, so it's there.
Well, forget pirates. It's about them becoming Goonies, man.
And you know what they say about Goonies, Dragon?
What do they say about Goonies, Jacob?
Goonies never say die.
That's true.
It's like, I'm surprised you didn't know that.
Well, no, I wanted to hear you say it. I thought it'd be kind of cool,
So you were testing me?
I mean, it's kind of a roundabout way, yeah,
Dragon, I love the Goonies.
I didn't know you loved the Goonies that much.
I haven't seen it in years, but I know the movie, and
Well, no, now I know that now.
I don't. Yeah. So, anyways. So what's this? So they look for they try looking for it, and Candace is like saying like. Candace is basically like being all haughty about it, saying like, it's like, are you forgetting I wrestled an alligator? Then what happens next, Dragon?
So this is pretty fun. So a giant crikey, the
Yeah.
crocodile, arrives, shows up behind her, basically the size of Killer Croc, and I think does it roar?
Like, I don't think it does.
Well, the point being is looks into imposing, Cass freaks out, and
I think it kind of makes some. I think it growls, but I don't
well, you
think
know what
it.
I mean. It makes a loud, scary animal sound.
Yeah, but I don't think it necessarily like roars at her or anything.
And point being, after that,
Yep.
Cass freaks out, and then she basically she flees, but flees in the direction of the thing she's afraid of, and basically is dragging it along with her in a montage. So Crikey is more afraid of Candace than Candace is of her, which I think says something about nature, and also we're all afraid of Candace deep down.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, Dragon, when scouring for the thumbnail earlier, I actually found a animation error that hadn't been documented until I found it.
Ooh.
Like, if you look down here in the lower left hand and the lower right hand side, it says water.
Oh my god, that's in the final episode?
Yep. I mean, it only comes by in it's like less than a second, like a couple frames that it's there.
Wow. Well, in case you need to know what they were boating and skiing on.
I think it was just like where like put the water layer here, the water layer begins here, or something like that.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying though. The end result is like, man, they must be in water right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, it goes by so fast, it's hard to tell. You couldn't have to be like I said, and I checked the wiki, they didn't even notice it. I just documented it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know. Yep. They left in a production note.
Did you check the episode itself?
I mean, like I said, I was freeze framing through the episode.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I thought you meant like you found that on the wiki, the wiki. But
I was
okay.
like, I put it on the wiki.
Okay.
I put it on the wiki. Like they hadn't noticed it in this episode. Came out 12 years ago.
There you go. We know all sorts of fun animation. Kind of all sorts of fun animation stuff coming from this channel. Incidentally, for example, I'm the one who told Phil Mackey that he unearthed the first Tim Curry Joker audio.
I just want to know how he managed to do that. I mean, seriously, how do you find that kind of stuff? You just don't find it. You have to like be kind of looking for it, right?
Well, it's not that. He basically stumbled into it. He was interviewing people from that animated series. Now, I'm not at liberty to say who specifically leaked it, but there's someone he interviewed, gave him the tape, and that's how he got the footage. And he had no idea. Like literally, it's like he posted the thing. I think he went on vacation or something. I was like, Phil, listen, you don't know what you have here. Okay, you unearthed, you don't know what you found, because like people are like writing articles and stuff. Like after he put his documentary out, there's all sorts of articles about, and here's the Tim Curry Joker footage. And I was like, oh my god, yeah, that thing was never shown. Like I don't think Phil knows it. This is how people are now finally seeing and reporting on this footage. He unearthed, he publicly released the Tim Curry Joker footage.
It's amazing.
It was always talked about, but it was never shown.
And somehow he got his hands on it.
That's the thing. Someone sent him a VHS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting to say the least.
That's what I'm saying. We have all sorts of breakthroughs on here occasionally.
And I found water.
You found water, Jacob. Water wet.
Yep, I always bring that up.
So now we know water is wet and also in the corner.
Well, I mean, I checked the actual episode afterwards. It does kind of like go by, but
Yeah.
but it does that. But I think it's technically a production note.
Jacob, would you like to do the honors? Would you like to tell Dan and Swampy what they did?
It's like, should I? Do you think I should?
Well, it's kind of a big moment. I mean, it's your call, but
All right, Dan, Swampy, we love you guys. When we know you guys have a keen eye for this stuff, so how did you let this happen?
not keen enough.
I mean, come on, you let that slip through. I mean, look at it. It's right there, plain as day. Come on. No, how did you? I mean, and you guys obviously are good at your jobs, and I'm not going to tell you how to do it. But maybe in the revival, you should keep your eyes more open.
There you go. Now it's the age of the internet. Now everyone's, they're looking with a fine-tooth comb. But you're gonna have fans doing recap podcasts. You're gonna be going through with a fine-tooth comb. They're gonna find all the mistakes, boys. They're gonna find all of them.
I mean, the thing though, the wiki has a pretty comprehensive list of errors that the episodes have pulled up, from like continuity to animation errors.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that this one took 12, wasn't noticed for 12 years. And I only found it by freeze framing through the thumbnail to find the thumbnail.
It's true, kids. He is the he is the live action Irving.
I've made my contribution to the fandom.
Yep, of Phineas and Ferb's adventures.
Yes.
He's documented and cataloged it.
This one animation error.
Yep, the Oopafids.
If actually on the wiki, I did contribute to earlier errors, like specifically during the Broken Echo one where Doofenshmirtz is in space. Well, it's a funny gag. Technically, there would be no Echo because he's in space.
Yep, just like Irving.
Yes, just like Irving.
The Oopafids.
Yeah. So anyway, Speaking of which, Candace does, as you mentioned earlier, runs straight, like basically abandons her brothers and her friends. First off,
well, to be fair, she is taking the giant crocodile with her.
Yeah, but she doesn't know she is until Phineas points it out to her. And the funny thing is, she also manages to get them killed by a train too. So, yeah. But Candace seems to be surprisingly skilled at driving an airboat, so there's that.
Not just an airboat. One could say the little
motorboat.
She's looking to drive the little motorboat.
Not the little motorboat.
Yeah. Little Crikey's scared in the little motorboat.
God. Anyway.
Yep. Anyway, so Crikey's terrified. Buford, he's not involved in this chase at all because he's trying to get a free hot dog. And how does he get that free hot dog?
Like by eating 9.
Yep.
It's like, if I eat 9 hot dogs, the 10th one is free. Somehow Belgy was able to drive the jet ski on land.
Well, we know where he got that skill from in the next episode.
Yep.
All right, so we have our husband and wife duo.
Yep, and a subversion of Farmer and his wife, and a subversion of their usual routine.
Yep.
It's like, I can't believe you got rid of our chicken farm and opened a swap meet. It's like, what did you get at the store? It's like, oh, it's a lasagna. They have a 2-for-1 sale. I kind of figured you'd have one of your sisters. Like, don't change the subject. For once, Phineas and Ferb's plan and Doofenshmirtz's plan has nothing to do with what's going on with them. It doesn't interfere with them at all. It's amazing. Again, that's a gag that would only work if you're familiar with it.
Well, it does interfere just in the negative. This time it took all of his chickens away.
Yep. I know, but but he didn't actually plan for the swap meet though this time though. That's the thing.
That's true. You're right about that. All right, so Candace ends up. So again, Doofenshmirtz, he's a big plan to turn Roger's award into a chicken. So it results in fire and rampant chicken blast everywhere, and Candace ends up sitting on a chicken.
Yep, it's like, it is kind of funny now that I think about it.
Oh God, I love Linda so much. I just love Linda with that line.
It's like, why is she chewing on a chicken though?
It's fun.
It is funny, yeah.
Funny. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Candace tries to wrestle the Upafid's away from Irving,
Look what you did, Jacob.
only to have Crikey swallow it after he's in the pen at the zoo that where Linda's volunteering at, and he eats it.
Again, if only Candace had been patient, there's no reason she needed to rush. Again, he's just like, he just needs to be there, and he's right there. Hey, walk over here. That's all she needed to do. Instead, like, no, I need to yank it away from him.
Well, that's Candace. She's not
He
one
could have
to
lifted his whole little body and brought it over to her.
she's not one to think rationally, Dragon.
No, she isn't.
And so Irving proposes to wait, which Candace walks away thinking, like,
It's all gone now. Well, if we just wait a few hours, like, ew.
that's just gross. It's like, my brother would come in and, that is disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, again, she just really, James, she just really hates your brother like you do. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's like,
Well, I mean, she's talking about waiting for the digestion.
oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I'm not without going into too many details. Yeah.
yeah.
And so that brings us to Ferb TV. Definitely an interesting episode, to say the least.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be kind of an interesting one to discuss, considering how kind of like non-linear it is. And not in the same way as the Remains of the Platypus. Just in the fact that it's a series of disconnected vignettes.
Yeah.
So, Dragon, what are your thoughts on Ferb TV?
Well, it's a very odd episode. Compared to the two, I don't like it as much as the What a Croc episode. It's I get they're being experimental and they're just having fun doing some parodies, and this is them kind of like probably kind of bridging to do like a full on Star Wars episode to see what they can get away with. But by the same token, though, it's like one, the lack of Doofenshmirtz hurts it. We get him at the very end, but that So it's kind of there's a lot of here's the thing, a lot of the jokes are kind of hit or miss, and I think some work better than others, and it's like overall nothing bad. It's just like them calling out like, yeah, we're just doing stuff. It's just not much of an episode.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I believe that has its own merits in itself, and I actually
it's not a bad thing. It's not a terrible episode. It's just like as far as like, I don't think really it's no contest and like does it stack up to some of the other ones they've done. Well, no, it doesn't.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that it does, but I definitely enjoy it. Just how absurd this episode can get.
Yeah.
I mean, admit it. You got a kick out of Cat Car.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
See, there you go.
Okay, so let's break a few of them down here. So, Cliptaloon and the giant
Klimpaloon.
Yes,
the magical old-timey bathing suit that lives in the Himalayas.
Yep. And the inexplicable giant floating baby head.
Yeah. Yes.
So I love this one because it's a send up to the old comedy variety shows and like the Colgate Comedy Hour. And the main way we know this, we see like the Abbott and Costello parody, which is really funny. The whole it's Canadian, it's Canadian hockey team.
Like they have some weird names. Like no, those are just Canadian names. We didn't say they were good Abbott and Costello parodies.
I just love the fact that we knock one of them out with the
the pin.
Yeah, with the juggling pins.
Like, how about these jugglers, folks?
Yep. Let's see.
And the chocolate harmonica.
How crazy is it when we see Klimpaloon and the baby head? They are a great pairing because when they dance, they form like a baby with a body.
Yep, it's a very small body, but
yeah,
I mean proportionately small body.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it is kind of a funny one. Funny how that works out. And we just see like different vignettes throughout the show, like them being knocked out, like the chocolate harmonica and all that.
This is gonna sound really weird. I mean, I want to emphasize it's gonna sound weird, but it'd be really funny.
Yeah.
Just if with all his postings and all like the social media and stuff, what if Dan or Swampy or I guess Dan because he's usually the one making these postings. What if he wore a version of Klimpaloon, the old-timey bathing suit from the Himalayas.
The magical old-timey bathing suit that lives in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to say it like that. It's the rules.
What if you wore it?
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Like, what if Palmer posted like, "Hey, beach day," and he's wearing
I'm Klimpaloon.
Yeah, he's wearing Klimpaloon, the magic old-timey the bathing suit
It's
from the Himalayas.
You know, it's fine. You don't actually have to say it every single time. I was just giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe he does have an old-timey bathing suit somewhere, but he doesn't really post a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. In addition to that, we also have Dr. Ninja Baljeet in color.
I just love the implication that it used to not be in color.
Well, I mean, remember, Police Squad was advertised as in color.
That's true.
And that show was wasn't even around long enough to, it was invented 20
Well, that's
years
the
now.
gag. That's classic Zucker Brothers. It's in color. Like, well, wait, was it in black and white? No, we want you to know it's in color. I actually heard a fun fact not so fun fact about the Zucker Brothers.
What about it?
Well, not about them, but about Naked Gun 3, or 33 and a half.
33 and a third.
Right, 33 and a third. Keep getting that fraction wrong. Anyway,
it's 2.5, then 33 and a third.
Yeah, that's what lost me. Anyway, so apparently Pete Siegel, the guy that did Tommy Boy, I believe that was his first feature, him directing Naked Gun 3.
All right.
And apparently Leslie Nielsen, not as let's just say he's not as cuddly as you think he might be.
You mean Leslie Nielsen?
Yes, Leslie Nielsen. Yes, Leslie Nielsen. He gave the young buck director, the first time director, a hard time. Apparently, Leslie Nielsen was at an age where he basically he was, according to Pete Siegel, again, wonderful. Here's the thing. Wonderful director hasn't had the best of luck with the reception of his movies. Tommy, he never matched the heights of Tommy Boy, but again, the guy, even in the movies that weren't so great, he put in the effort. Well, still, I keep talking about him like he's in the past tense. He's alive, folks. He just did My Spy 2. He's around. What I'm saying is, he's never quite hit the heights. Tommy Boy was the stars aligned. It was a miracle. It was the thing. But then he have other movies like Night of the Professor 2, Beat the Clumps, where, again, movie, as far as the critics and honestly the movie itself goes, it's not great, but you can appreciate all the hard work that went into that movie. And to make, there are a lot of practical effects in that movie. Again, the Eddie Murphy and all the makeup. And again, those moments, even though the writing's not great, the scenes are very well acted.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's putting in the legwork. He's putting it in there. So, anyway, so this him on his first feature there, he basically kind of came to learn that, oh God, he's not as natural as you would think he is. It takes a lot of takes for Leslie Nielsen, apparently.
Huh.
And basically it takes him a long time to get through it, and he eventually does, and they get the best take out of him. But it takes forever. And so this young director is like, hey, could we try? Essentially through some he's trying to nudge him into can I pick this up a little? And he was not very nice to him after that.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but apparently, he kind of after that, he became a lot more docile during the shoot. But then later on, you have to question whether it was out of spite or not. Where later on, just after, it's oh hey, a week or so after production wrapped, it's oh hi Leslie, this is yes hi, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. He's the director of the movie. I couldn't remember the guy's name.
Oh, that's.
But again, I don't know how much of that's a Leslie Nielsen he's getting up there thing, or how much of that's him, because that was the root of it. Just Nielsen might have had some pride going on towards his later years.
That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyway,
we need to do our podcast on Naked Gun one of these days.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, the movie's apparently officially going forward. The fourth movie's again officially going forward, it seems.
I heard that, yeah.
There's just one burning question though about it, Dragon. Is Weird Al Yankovic going to be in it?
He really should. From what I understand, I think the chances are good that Weird Al is going to be in it.
I mean, he apparently knows Akiva Schaffer, so apparently there's some precedence there.
I've heard some not so great reports about it.
About the movie or Akiva
Yeah,
Schaffer?
about the movie.
Huh.
I heard it's going to be a very beat for beat remake, but I mean, that's not necessarily the worst thing. But
I mean,
still.
I thought it was going to be like a sequel or something. But
well, that's the thing. I mean, it's in theory. It's initially I heard it was supposed to be a sequel, but even if it's, I guess, Jake, even if it is a sequel, I'm saying the sequel is going to be very much the same movie made over again. That's I think that's
well, as long as it's still good, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, I want to see Liam Neeson in a comedy. I desperately want to see that. So I'm very sold on that. Well, Seth MacFarlane has great reverence for Naked Gun. So if anyone's going to do that, I would rather it be Seth MacFarlane than Gus Van Sant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's that. It's like I said, that's the burning question I have. Is Weird Al Yankovic going to have a cameo in it?
Yeah.
He definitely should, continue the tradition and all that.
Especially, I mean, how great was the opening of Spy Hard?
It was good. It's the only good. It's really the only good part of that movie.
Weird Al Yankovic, just his head blowing up.
That's really the only good part of that movie.
I think my favorite line is allow me to reiterate.
The name of the movie is Spy Hard.
You're watching Spy Hard.
All right, we need to get back on topic.
Yeah. It was an unfocused episode anyway.
I know, but
plus the viewing audience, they've all clicked off by now anyway. They don't care what we say.
Yeah, I guess. But
where's background noise while they're doing household chores? Don't think we don't know. I'm looking at you, little blue. Yeah, don't look away. You too, Code Geass.
Is that Weird Al ever in Phineas and Ferb? Well, there's actually, he did voice a character in Candace Against the Universe. He voiced the T-shirt cannon guy.
Yeah.
So he did technically guest star in this show as well. But that was obviously after Milo was made and already worked with Dan and Swampy. And he even guest starred in Dan's new show, Hamster and Gretel, too. as I believe his name was Wacko Wally.
I mean, let's be honest. Weird Al has a lot of free time.
Yeah, but he's still a busy guy, though.
Yep.
So,
I mean, he was until he was assassinated, during
he's a zombie, so.
Well, you're right about that, yeah.
He has to take his time, Dragon.
Yeah.
It's like, being a zombie takes a lot out of you.
It does. Plus, there's the whole movie about it was just this. See, there's a sequel to Weird Al Yankovic story in which Weird Al is essentially he's he's a corpse for the rest of the movie.
I would like to see that movie.
Well, I'm saying, Jake, the movie actually exists with Daniel Radcliffe. That's what I'm alluding to.
Oh, you mean the
Swiss Army Man?
Swiss Army Man, right?
There's your sequel to Weird Al.
Oh God. That's
he decomposed so much, the hair got shorter, so it's the sequel.
This podcast is going in directions I never anticipated.
Yeah.
Coming into talking about Ferb TV, never thought we'd be talking about Swiss Army Man.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk about let's change the channel on this. Let's talk about the real highlight of this episode. Let's talk about
Cat
that's
car.
Yes.
All right, just kidding. That's the norm.
That's the norm.
That's the norm.
Okay, I love everything about That's the Norm. I love the theme song. I love the fact it's Norm. I love the fact that it's just it's basically Alf. The premise is essentially Alf.
And a little bit of Iron Giant thrown in too.
I mean, a little. Yeah, you're right. A little bit of Iron Giant.
I was actually kind of wondering if that's the reason why you wanted me to use this.
I
Because
mean,
since we just discussed Iron Giant.
if I were a smart man, Jacob, but I just love the theme song.
Well, that works too. Then that's also a valid reason.
Yeah,
It's like a less tear-jerking Iron Giant.
everyone was taking notes. I just realized, man, I love this. Is my favorite part between both episodes. It kind of we should try and represent it.
I mean, it is great. It's like just the pairing of Susie and Norm of all people.
God, it's fantastic. That seems to be kind of the impetus behind the episodes. Do some combinations of characters we don't normally see, or some weird off the wall things we'd never be able to get away with these characters.
Basically, put these characters in scenarios where you'll never see them in.
Yeah,
where Norm and Susie in like a wacky sitcom.
Yep. Or essentially, it's like, okay, Jeremy can't know. You gotta hide like E.T. or the Iron Giant, and we gotta hide you. Holy guacamole! Aren't you sure are a handful?
For like forced catchphrases, canned laughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious.
I love the lemonade stand gag. That's great.
It's like it's a lumpy table. I drink all lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
I
drink it.
And then Norm comes in with the lemon. It's like, now help me fix this lumpy table. Oh God!
All right, so cat car.
Roger Doofenshmirtz as the driver of cat car.
Yep.
Oh God!
Essentially, the Michael Knight character.
Oh yeah.
So that's just great. John O'Hurley as kind of the Michael Knight from Knight Rider character.
I'm getting to say all these ridiculous things like, "I'll get you, Professor Nibbles."
The only thing that would have been funnier is if he was eating a Kit Kat.
They probably couldn't because of copyright reasons.
Yeah, but you could just said, "Break me off a piece of that, would you?"
That probably could have worked too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically get Roger it's basically the same thing as these earlier stuff we've talked about. Get these like obviously well-known actors and everything to say the most ridiculous lines possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that I'm saying like John O'Hurley is like this well-known, like classically trained Shakespearean dramatic actor or anything, but still, like the voice of John O'Hurley saying like, "Come and I'll get you, Professor Nibbles."
He's got a regal voice.
Yeah, there's something inherently funny about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not like Leslie Nielsen Forbidden Planet to Airplane or anything like that, but still. I mean, you've seen Forbidden Planet, right, Dragon?
Yeah.
So it's like, would you believe that one of those actors went on to play Frank Drebin of all people?
I would never imagine that.
Exactly.
Would never have called that.
It's like, oh yeah, there he is. That's Frank Drebin.
Nordberg.
Yeah. I forget his name in Airplane, like Rumek, I think.
God, I don't remember this. I don't remember his name from Airplane.
I mean, obviously he's the doctor and all that. I remember that much. I think it's Dr. Rumek, but don't quote me on that.
Oh no, wasn't he the?
No, he was the doctor.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was.
Remember, they woke him up and he was wearing a stethoscope.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. He was. Yeah.
Is there a gritty reboot moment anywhere in this episode?
No, we're getting there.
It's like, so, Dragon, what do you think of Ducky Momo?
So, Ducky Momo, kind of a critique of Dora the Explorer.
Yep, it's like, help Ducky Momo find the bridge.
So just the universal parental frustration of like, oh my God, like Dora, turn around! It's right there.
It's right there. Like the false interactivity of these cartoons.
Yep.
I mean, It's preschool. It's a preschool show, but even then, that some of that stuff just kind of insults children's intelligence in a way. Not that Dora's bad or anything like that. I can't say because I've never
No,
actually.
look, I will have a serious conversation about Dora the Explorer, which out of context, I'm sure people would love to quote. Okay, so look, Dora the Explorer has a lot going for it. Aesthetically, it
Yeah,
has it's
I
good
mean,
characters. I love the structurally. You got the map. You have like a very
and
simple.
and obviously helping kids learn Spanish.
I mean, let's be honest, it was not their main. It was not the main goal of that show, but yeah, it was there.
I know, but it does help.
Yeah, it was like it was a demographic thing.
I know, but it is there.
You're right, it's there. But the point being, though, there's the show had a lot going for it between that and just between like structurally how it works and just like okay, so we have.
And I know it's more than just like pointing things out and interacting with Dora and all that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's something appealing about the show. It's just so frustrating getting once you get into like a formula like that, where it's like, how is Dora like actually an explorer if you have to? If the audience has to walk her through everything. We never see her do anything on her own, and every time like we keep clicking around. Plus that aspect of it again, it just feels like when they broadcast, that feels more of like a webtoon thing, but they didn't commit fully to the idea.
Well, remember, webtoons weren't exactly a thing when that was made.
I know, which is even weirder.
Like, and they even made fun of it in the live action movie.
Yeah.
Like, who's she talking to? So yeah. I haven't actually seen the movie, but I've seen that part of the movie. How good was the movie actually?
I mean, I have not watched the movie. Tiki sings the praises. He loves the movie, so.
I mean, I heard it was actually surprisingly good, though.
Yeah, I mean, look, it sounds like it might have been. I remember the trailer like kind of put me off too because I was thinking like, well, all that dumb ideas, Hollywood, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily the.
Well,
idea.
I'm not saying I was right. I'm just saying that was like my initial impression of it.
I mean, like speaking of like Dan, he's talking about like it's not necessarily the idea, but it's the execution of it. I mean, like you said, he was talking about like he went to lunch with Seth MacFarlane once, and Seth pitched him Ted. He's like, if it came from anyone else besides Seth, I wouldn't have thought it was a good idea. Like so, it's like so basically, it's all about the execution, I guess.
Yeah.
And look, Ted's got a movie, got a sequel, and a TV show, which is getting a season 2.
Yeah, which I'm very happy about.
Yep. So
you seriously, you got to watch season 1 of that show, Jacob.
I haven't even seen Ted 2 yet.
I mean, that's prioritize it over Ted 2.
Yeah, okay. I heard it's a prequel anyway, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. You're fine. Yeah.
It's a prequel to like the first Ted, right?
Yeah, it's a prequel to the first Ted, and it's better than the sequel. Give it a watch.
All right.
Look, with Ted 2, the best part of that movie is a certain cameo.
It's like, well, what cameo?
Liam Neeson's cameo.
Oh, all right.
It's the only. Just watch that scene, and you're good. That's all you need for Ted 2. You just need to watch the Liam Neeson cameo, then watch the show.
Well, yeah. It's like, well, like I said, there's a problem with that, Dragon. I don't have Peacock.
Curses.
Yes, I don't have. Unfortunately, I don't have Peacock. I know it's cheap, and maybe it's. I don't think it's available for in the ad-free version.
Mm.
I think you have to sign up for it to watch it, and I want to find more shows than just Ted to watch on
I
there.
would love it if that got released and McFarlane did commentaries on it, but I have a feeling that's not in the cards anymore.
The only other thing they'll probably give me to watch is the Psych movies.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, also the Monk movie. There's something.
All of Monk on there?
I think they also that's a Monk's like in 3 places, Jacob. It's on Peacock, it's on Netflix, and it's on Amazon. So it's in 3. You can watch it anywhere. But them say the movie though is only on Peacock. It's like the revival movie.
All right. So if we get back to that's the norm later.
Yeah.
What about Buford's cooking show?
Yeah, this was a lot of fun just seeing Buford chew out these chefs.
It's like basically your cooking stinks and so do you.
Yep.
Definitely a thinly veiled parody of someone like Gordon Ramsay,
Mm-hmm.
who, funnily enough, guest stars in a future episode.
Well, that's just right.
Yep. And I don't think, and honestly, the funny thing is, I don't think in the episode he's in, he doesn't have an explosive temper. So there's that. And how do you think an olive-free olive works?
What do you mean?
Like, remember, Andre Gilbo, like olive-free flavored olive loaf, basically, like the olive-free olive.
Mm.
How do you think that works?
Maybe it's an artificial olive. Like it's made to look like an olive, but it's not actually an olive.
There's not much to talk about with Buford's one. Just a few things here and there, like, and then like Buford, like, yeah, people need to be avant-garde from your food. And then later, the chef's like, I realize that's not what he was saying, not what he was doing. It's what he was saying, or how he was saying it. And then he goes to Buford in a trash can all tied up. It's like, I couldn't be prouder. God.
I can't help but wonder if Buford's actually like the secret origin stories for Gene Shalit.
Chief who?
Gene Shalit.
I don't know who Gene Shalit is.
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Yes.
It was even like a Family Guy joke. Gene Shalit, like the film critic who made all the puns.
And
He had like a real woolly look. Remember, he had like a big mustache, big round glasses, and he was on that episode of SpongeBob with the Krusty Sponge. Remember the Krusty Sponge episode?
I don't remember. I don't. The name doesn't sound familiar.
Anyway, the point being, back I think in the '80s, there was the news. They would just kind of cut to this guy who was like the film critic, and he looked really ridiculous. He had a big giant mustache. He had kind of like an afro, and he had like round red glasses or something, and he would review movies and use a lot of puns or something when he's kind of coming up with like alliteratives or like coming up with like ways to describe like how good or bad the movie was.
Kind of reminds me of Joe Bob.
Sure. Well, yeah, a little bit like, I guess, kind of like, it was kind of like the news affiliate version of Joe Bob, one could say.
Unless like I guess Joe Bob doesn't really review; he just introduces them. I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Joe Bob's not a good example then. Why don't bring Joe Bob into this?
I know, but Joe Bob, like, just like the whole like kind of like comedic factor of it, kind of reminded me of Joe Bob.
Sure. There. Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I remember the only movie critic named Gene I know is Gene Siskel.
Yeah, he's the other Gene.
Yep. and the TV show The Critic.
Yeah.
Rosebud's Frozen Peas.
Yeah, no, I recall.
Oh God. I would want, if I ever meet Maurice LaMarche, I'm gonna have him say that for me. What do you think?
If you meet who?
Maurice LaMarche.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said something else. Yeah, I definitely have him say that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep. Anyway. All right. So, where do you want to go from here?
Let's see. Maybe a commercial. Meep goulash.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. So,
considering goulash is like a type of meat stew.
Yeah, and the kids are foaming at the mouth at the end, eating what's the prizes inside the goulash.
Oh God, that's gross. Oh God, it's basically not fit for human consumption.
Hey Jacob, do you know what time it is?
I think I do, Dragon.
It's Gritty Reboot time! So these kids are dead now.
And they're the kids from school.
They foamed at the mouth from eating this intergalactic goulash, which is not meant for human consumption, and yeah, dead.
They're dead.
Get up. It's like the scene from Batman '89 with all the cosmetics. Okay, they're goners. Of that Joker, Kaputsky, dead. It's the lethal version of the Amanda Show sketch. Meatloaf cereal.
Like, is that actually a skit from the Amanda Show?
Yeah.
You know, I never watched.
It wasn't goulash, but it was meatloaf. It was like meatloaf cereal.
You know, I've never seen the Amanda Show.
That is why you fail.
But seriously, I've never watched the Amanda Show.
Well, it's great. I mean, I think I've told you about Tony Pajamas, haven't I?
Yes.
God, I love Tony Pajamas. I love the. So speaking of Ray Liotta, I mean, dear God, just Drake Bell and Josh Peck, as these mafia characters, as these knockoff like Monday mafia characters, just Tony Pajamas. It's basically a parody of Tony Montana. and just having Josh Peck in this suit, just like runs to the window every time, and it's like, Tony, it's the Aldente brothers. They got donuts. Donuts.
Oh, God.
I laughed so hard. I was so hard at that. It's just so perfect.
It's all
Just
on
treating donuts like live ammunition.
it's all on Paramount Plus too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. I need to go watch that now.
There you go. It's always like some different food when it happens. They got meatballs.
and they're like the fake Italian accent too.
Exactly. Like Amanda, like dressed like dressed like essentially Marissa Tomei from My Cousin with Vinny. Sorry, my cousin Vinny.
Yep. Yeah, from Your Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you're talking about the movie, Dragon. I'm just making a joke.
Yeah.
Then,
Anyway.
so yeah, back to the episode then.
All right, let's see. Lethal meat products aside.
Yes.
We have Dancing with the Bears. Da Bears.
Dancing with the Bears. We only see one bit of that.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we don't get John Larroquette back as Bob.
Nope.
And you know what, Dragon? That's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's like that's not okay.
Mm-mm. Let's see. We have Fireside Girls
with the parody of like the army commercials.
Yep, that was really funny.
Yeah, apparently Katie was able to beat one of the army guys with an arm wrestling contest. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah, which one's Katie, Dragon?
Katie is she's the one with the glasses, right?
No.
Crap.
This is why a while ago I prepared something like this.
Oh. All right, Katie. There we go.
Yep.
That's handy.
Gretchen's the one with the glasses.
Yeah, he always makes things. All right, there you go. Wait, go back.
Okay.
Yep, Addison's the one who always gets punished. Yep. Okay.
Well, at least in the great indoors.
Yeah. Wait, don't we do that to her again?
I mean, maybe, but it's not really that common of a gag.
I think it's funny that hypothetically, Dan and Swampy, they have to pick okay, which girl do we want to really put through the ringer this time with the Fireside Girl? Someone has to draw the short straw. Who's it going to be?
It's usually Addison.
Addison. Which one has the crush on Baljeet?
Ginger.
Right.
All right.
Anyway, so again, look, I admit it. I don't know my Fireside Girl's one from another. I know Addison because she gets tortured.
I mean, it's fine. I didn't expect you to remember who they were.
Yeah.
It's like I just made that a while ago, and I haven't had the opportunity to bring it up until now. So there you go. It finally paid off. There will be a quiz later, though.
Don't say that.
That. All right, so where were we?
Well, let's see.
Yeah, this is kind of all over the place.
I guess we should probably just kind of like cap it off with, again, we have the finale, it seems, or at least of the pilot episode of That's the Norm.
Yep, where we Ginger's also Stacy's sister. Yep, we know.
There
Yep.
you go. That's
I mean, that's not technically revealed in series until season 4. But like Swampy revealed it early.
So by proxy, we have Kelly Who.
Yes.
By proxy, distant relation, but
It's like, and this is a reference to the critic earlier. Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks. Which I think is more from The Simpsons than the critic.
In this case, it's more like Mr. Van Stomp.
Yes. When I was talking about I was talking about brought up the critic earlier.
Yeah.
The TV show The Critic.
No, I know. I'm saying like, what if you adjusted the line? It would be like, for with the whole everything stinks.
Yes, Mr. Stom, everything stinks.
Yeah.
Anyway, we see Jeremy and Stacy Jeremy and Susie saying goodbye to Norm, who had to go back to space. Not as Superman, mind you, but just back to space.
Yep.
Like I said, there's some Iron Giant in there somewhere. Very, very deep down, but it's there. I mean, am I wrong in making that comparison, Dragon?
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
I mean, look, it's more sub. Look. When he arrives, he's wearing iron. So yeah, when he arrives, there's an Iron Giant thing. When he leaves, though, that's the Alf finale.
Yeah, and the Alf finale that never got fixed because they were planning for another season and it never happened.
They did get a TV movie though.
Yep.
Did you ever see the TV movie?
No.
So it's on YouTube, Jacob.
But the actual series ends with him being captured.
You're right. I'm just all I'm saying is like the whole thing of like we're trying to send the alien home, and like basically this is the less of a downer version of it.
Yeah, it's like yeah, Stacy and Jeremy, Susie's like, I need a moment, and then just give me a second. And it turns out Norm didn't leave after all.
Still crazy Alf didn't get an ending, it's just Alf ended on that cliffhanger until they did that stupid TV movie.
How long ago after the series was the movie made?
God, I want to say if Alf ended in the 80s, the Alf movies in the 90s.
Dang, that's a long time.
I want to say, I don't think it was like directly made after because they couldn't get the actors back from the show, so I don't think... I want to say it was early 90s was when we got the movie, and when the show probably ended, I'd imagine, I'm trying to remember when Alf started, because it was 4 years from then. I remember Alf's ending kind of late 80s, I think, so probably 88 or 89 would be my guess. Again, I could be wrong. I could be getting my Alf dates completely wrong. I'm just going off memory. I'm just going off kind of like an assumption on that one, but I'm pretty sure that TV was in the 90s. That's all I do know.
All right, but turns out Norm gets to stay.
He does.
Like, that's the norm.
That's the norm.
Yes. Unfortunately, we never get to see any of these concepts ever explored again. Like, we don't get to see Dr. Ninja Baljeet ever again. Like, and then the people chasing, it's like, wow, that was almost better. I should slow down. It's like, Dr. Baljeet, Ninja, I didn't train for 8 years just to be Dr. Baljeet.
Yeah, that's something we kind of skipped over is the whole, like, the Dr.
Ninja Baljeet.
Dr. Ninja Baljeet. Just the fact that he's...
in color.
just the fact that he's such a stickler for the ninja thing.
Like, yeah, not necessarily the doctor, but the ninja part.
Also, a nod to Doogie Howser.
Yep. Like, I'm a doctor, and yes, I am single. Oh, God.
It does feel a little wrong that, we're pairing Baljeet with, with the older babes.
It's like, yep. Even if one of them is a shape-shifting alien.
Oh yeah.
Does that make it better or worse?
Well, okay. Wait, isn't it a different girl that he kind of saves at the end?
It's a different girl, yeah, than the one he eats the carbonated goulash with.
Yeah.
And we also get to see Cat Car hacking up a hairball.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's the episode. And then we have our post-credit gag, which is
and it turns out some kind of random beam from Doofenshmirtz destroys Ferb TV.
okay. So that kind of that was a big cop out, by the way. Just like, okay, we're just gonna destroy the Ferb TV thing, and then this cancer gonna walk in, and it just feels like, yeah, it's interdimensional cable. It was the precursor to the interdimensional cable. Let's be honest.
Basically, it kind of is the precursor to it in a way.
Yeah.
It's like
it's the much more docile version of interdimensional cable
without the extra dimensions.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how like the show that people praise Rick and Morty for all the stuff that it came up with when it in reality borrowed most of the stuff that it came up with.
Yeah.
Like the Council of Ricks, like people's like, oh, that's so creative. It's like, well, where were you when the Council of Reeds so many years ago?
Yep.
It's like they weren't the first one to come up with that idea. I mean, they did it in an interesting way, nonetheless. But
they never claimed to. They were pulling out council accounts and everything. So
I know it's like the fans did and everything. Like the fans like claimed and gushed how original it was, and then people pointed out like they're not the first ones to do that. The multiverse has existed for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, I think and so Dragon, do you want to do the honors and discuss the end credit gag?
So we're doing an ad for I believe it's for the goulash again.
The carbonated goulash.
Carbonated goulash. And Doofenshmirtz makes his appearance in the episode. Is this Studio A? He's like, no, it's Studio B. Well, wait a minute. What do you just want to get in the episode? No.
You did. I did.
God, I love Doofenshmirtz. I love the way he's just like, no.
Like, no.
Because he's so defensive. Like, no, it's not what's happening.
And like, yeah, I did. He's like, I can eat that faster than you. Oh, God. And that's the only Doofenshmirtz. That's the only Dr. Doofenshmirtz we got in this episode.
But no Perry. Well, no, I'm sorry. No, we did get... We got Perry, but not Perry, the platypus. We just had Perry.
Yep. I mean, Perry the platypus, but not, Perry the platypus.
Yeah.
Like,
difference is a hat.
We don't even see we don't even see Hines. And the funny thing is, it's like this is the only episode where Roger appears in the episode more than Hines does.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. So I think that does it for this week. That went in so many directions.
Yeah.
But it was fun nonetheless and brought us to discussion to all kinds of other media. Like I said, we definitely need to talk about the Naked Gun one of these days. Like, this is like the anniversary year for it.
Yeah.
So we promised to do that one of these days.
Yeah.
And I know we did eventually promise to discuss Shaolin Showdown 2 like earlier this year, but we'll get to that too.
Yep.
One of these days, right, Dragon?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So, thank you for tuning in, folks. We had Aquatad, we had Jordan Fernandez here briefly, Cameron Cogran, Claude, Kogias as well. So, thank you all for tuning in this week and join us. Dragon, are you aware of Gigantor?
Gigantor.
The old anime.
Wait, do you mean? Are you sure you mean Gigantor? You don't mean something else?
No, Gigantor.
No.
All right, well, it's an old mech anime, and there's a big reference to it next week.
Cool.
And also we meet another member of the Monogram family.
Oh boy.
Good night, everybody.